नष्टेषु भवेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भवति उत्तमश्लोके निष्ठिते तदा एवं प्रसन्नमनसो भगवद्भक्तियोगतः भगवद्भक्तिविद्यामुक्तसुन्दरसुजाते हृदयग्रन्थिश्चिद्यन्ते सर्वसंशया क्षीयन्ते शास्य कर्माणि दृष्टमेवात्मनीश्वरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय 3544 यत्सानुबन्धे सति देहगेहे यत्सानुबन्धे सति देहगेहे ममाहमित्युड दुराग्रहाणाम् पुंसां सुदूरं वसतोऽपि पुर्याम् भजे मतत्ते भगवन् पदाब्जम् यस्यानुबन्धे असति देहगेहे ममाहमित्यूढदुराग्रहाणाम् पुंसां सुदूरं वसतोऽपि पुर्याम् भजे मदत्ते भगवन् पदाब्जम् यत्सानुबन्धे सति देहगेहे ममाहमित्यूढदुराग्रहाणाम् पुंसां सुदूरं वसतोऽपि पुर्याम् भजे मतत्ते भगवन् पदाब्जम् यत्सानुबन्धे सति देहगेहे यत्सानुबन्धे सति देहगेहे ममाहमित्यूढदुराग्रहाणाम् पुंसां सुदूरं वसतोऽपि पुर्याम् भजे मतत्ते भगवन् पदाब्जम् यत्सानुबन्धे असति देहगेहे ममाहमित्यूढदुराग्रहाणाम् पुंसां सुदूरं वसतोऽपि पुर्याम् भजे मतत्ते भगवन् पदाब्जम् यत्सानुबन्धे सति देहगेहे ममाहमित्यूढदुराग्रहाणाम् पुंसां सुदूरं वसतोऽपि पुर्याम् भजे मतत्ते भगवन् पदाब्जम् यत्सानुबन्धे सति देहगेहे ममाहमित्यूढदुराग्रहाणाम् पुंसां सुदूरं वसतोऽपि पुर्याम् भजे मतत्ते भगवन् पदाब्जम् short group where everyone can read. Duragrahana Mamahamityuda Duragrahana Pumsam Suduram Vasato Vidyam Bhaje Matatte Bhagavan Padabjam Yatsanubande Te Hagehe Mamahamityuda Duragrahana Pumsam Suduram Vasato Vidyam Bhaje Matatte Bhagavan Padabjam. So word to word translations. Yat because sa anubandhe due to becoming entangled, asati thus being, deha the gross material body, gehe in the home, mama mine, aham I, iti thus, udha great, deep, duragrahana undesirable eagerness, pumsam of persons, suduram far away, vasataha dwelling, api although, puryam within the body, bhajema let us worship, tat therefore, te your Bhagavan, O Lord, Pada Abjam, lotus feet. Translation. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Lord, persons who are entangled by undesirable eagerness for the temporary body and kinsmen, and who are bound by thoughts of mine and I, are unable to see your lotus feet, although your lotus feet are situated within their own bodies. But let us take shelter of your lotus feet. I'll read one more time. O Lord, persons who are entangled by undesirable eagerness for the temporary body and kinsmen, and who are bound by thoughts of mine and I, are unable to see your lotus feet, although your lotus feet are situated within their own bodies. But let us take shelter of your lotus feet. So this series of verses from 39 onwards, now the devas or devatas, demigods, are glorifying the lotus feet of the Lord. So the first verse in 39, they said, your lotus feet is like an umbrella for the surrendered souls. It protects from all three miseries of material life. Right? And then in text 40, they said that in this, living entities in this material world can never have any happiness here, because they can never have any happiness, no happiness. So the previous verse was about it drives away all miseries, and this 40th verse says that here there's no happiness because there is threefold miseries. So therefore, we take shelter of your lotus feet, which is like an umbrella which will drive away the threefold miseries. And then in the next verse, 41, they say that it's an umbrella, but within that umbrella, how is your lotus feet able to drive away the miseries? It's also a place of pilgrimage. So in 41, they say the lotus feet of the Lord are themselves the shelter of places of pilgrimage. That's where everything actually resides. All the places of pilgrimage reside at the lotus feet of the Lord. So then they say it's also So your lotus feet are also better or better than even the Ganges, because that's where the Ganges start. So Mother Ganga removes all simple reactions, and your lotus feet is the origin of such a river. And in 42, they say that your lotus feet, meditating on that and hearing about you, gives detachment and knowledge. Just meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord and hearing about lotus feet, dissipates our attachments. It awards detachment and knowledge. And then 43, they say, not just detachment and knowledge, they give fearlessness, courage. And then they also give remembrance of your lotus, of yourself. Just having connection with your lotus feet reminds us of you, and also it awards courage to your devotees. So all these things they have said. Your lotus feet is like an umbrella that drives away threefold miseries. And then they are like the abode of places of pilgrimage. That's where Mother Ganga, Ganges water starts. So drive away all simple reactions. And then they say that they award detachment and knowledge. Not just that, they also award courage or fearlessness and remembrance. Now, this is the last verse in this section, text 44. So now they are saying who is not eligible to take shelter, or who doesn't take shelter of the, who don't take shelter of such lotus feet. Glories we have already mentioned, but still some people don't take. Who are not able to take? Here Prabhupada nicely translates for us. There are a few words that come very prominent. Persons who are entangled by undesirable eagerness. It doesn't say attachments. Eagerness. Everything starts with the desire. Everything starts with the seed is the desire. So undesirable eagerness for temporary. And then bound by the thoughts of I and mine. Such people cannot take shelter of your lotus feet. And then we see the Sanskrit also here. Anubandhe, becoming entangled. Asati, Deha. What is Asat? They're attached to the Asat. Deha, here Prabhupada tells us gross material body, but then it also includes subtle material body as well. Gross and subtle material bodies. And then there's Mama Aham. We know this verse, Mama Aham. And then the next word is Dura Agrahanam. Dura Agraha. Like, Agraha means eagerness, like hankering, not just like gentle eagerness. Agraha means hankering. Dura Agraha means undesirable or unfavorable. Dura, we can give all kinds of meanings to Dura, right? Abominable, right? So Dura Grahana. Very bad, yeah. Undesirable eagerness, okay? And then he says, for such persons, your lotus feet, where does your lotus feet go? Suduram. Duram means far away. Suduram means really far. Too far that they don't even know, they don't even remember. Extremely far. Gone, kind of a thing. Even though, where do they reside? Vasati. They reside in one's heart. Yeah. And they say Puriyam. Puri means city, right? So here, Puriyam means city of 9 gates. So your lotus feet reside in every city of 9 gates, but still they can't connect with you because they are just attached to iron mind, or they are undesirably eager for iron mind. I will read the purport. The whole Vedic philosophy of life is that one should get rid of the material encagement. Look at that, encagement, not engagement, encagement. When you're put in a cage and locked up, basically. Material encagement of gross and subtle bodies, which only cause one to continue in a condemned life of miseries. This material body continues as long as one is not detached from the false conception of lording it over material nature. The impetus for lording it over material nature is a sense of mine and I. I am the Lord of all that I survey. So many things I possess, and I shall possess more and more. Who can be richer than I in wealth and education? I am the master. I am God. Who else is there but me? All these ideas reflect the philosophy of Aham Mama, the conception that I am everything. Persons conducted by such a conception of life can never get liberation from material bondage. But even a person perpetually condemned to the miseries of material existence can get relief from bondage if he simply agrees to hear only Krishna Katha. Look at that. Some clues given now. In this age of Kali, the process of hearing Krishna Katha is the most effective means to gain release from unwanted family affection and thus find permanent freedom in life. The age of Kali is full of sinful reactions, and the people are more and more addicted to the qualities of this age. But simply by hearing and chanting of Krishna Katha, one is sure to go back to Godhead. Therefore, people should be trained to hear only Krishna Katha by all means in order to get relief from all miseries. In the first few sentences, Prabhupada opens up the entire purport. He says the whole Vedic philosophy of life. So everybody has their philosophy of life. What are some philosophies of life out there? Work is worship, yeah. That's what you're going to say? Wow, okay. What else? Manav Seva, Madhav Seva. Yeah, what else philosophy of life out there? Yeah, okay. Ahimsa, yeah. Dharma Rakshit, okay. I'll just do my dharma as if we know what it is, So I'll do my dharma.
This is ahimsa parama.
Everything, ahimsa, parama dharma. There is nothing else beyond it. What else philosophy? Only one life.
Hare Krishna Mathaji.
Enjoy. Right?
Hare,
Somebody. Yes.
yeah, this is Radhakunja Bihari Mataji. Hare Krishna. We
Yes.
can also say, there's only one life, so let's enjoy it.
Yeah. So one life, let's enjoy it. Right? That's another philosophy. So there's so many philosophies. But Prabhupada puts a full stop by saying the Vedic philosophy, the whole Vedic philosophy. We may say Vedas are Traigunya Vishaya Veda. There's so many things. But he says, actually the whole Vedic philosophy of life is that one should get rid of material engagement. One should come out of this cage. Come out of this cage, right? Cage of what? Gross and subtle bodies. So here, the gross body has its own engagement, right? When we are inside this gross body attached to it, even though we are locked up, what is one's meditation when one is encaged in the material gross body? What is one thinking all the time? Yeah, keep the body fit for just fitness sake. Okay, keep the body beautiful. Iron mind. How does it manifest iron mind in body? Yeah, but how does one? Yeah, envy when somebody else has. Yeah, but the whole hankering of taking care of one's body for what? For just so that I can be happy, I can enjoy. Be happy is okay, because we are all Anandamaya Abhyasat, so we don't want to be morose also in devotional service. But it's just like sense enjoyment and just running after temporary. That becomes the driving force for keeping the body well, right? And then there is subtle body. How does that manifest? Engagement in subtle body. Knowledge, yeah. Intellectual, satisfaction, or yeah. What else? Okay, so I get what I want and I become happy. So mind becomes happy running after something. Yeah, sense of controllership. Yesterday, Chandramouli Maharaj was describing this so nicely about how he read from 16th chapter Bhagavad Gita. He said the main quality of demoniac mentality is controllership. Either we have to control ourselves, control others, control the situation, control something or the other. We have to control something. If there is nothing to control, it becomes like a hankering disease of running after control. So here the subtle body has this controllership and enjoyment and all this, right? Even though the enjoyment itself is not wrong, right? Yeah. So now Prabhupada says this engagement of gross and subtle bodies, which only cause one to continue in condemned life of miseries. So what does this cause? It continues one cage to other cage to the other cage to the other cage. It may be iron cage to the silver cage to maybe gold, and what is better than gold? Platinum, and maybe studded with diamonds, studded with whatever, Prabhupada says, lapis lazuli, I don't know how that is, but then all these things, So just all different forms and shapes of cages, one enters and continues. And it looks like an upgrade going from iron to silver to, but then it's really not an upgrade. So then this material body continues as long as one is not detached from the false conception of lording it over material nature. Then Prabhupada says, the impetus, what is the impetus for lording over material nature? That is aham mama, mine and I. Then he just describes of what one thinks when one is obsessed by this I and mine. Exactly in 16th chapter again, Bhagavad Gita. Ishwaroham, aham, right? Aham, Ishwaro, aham, everything is aham. So here, dasoham is not there. That is also aham only. You just have to write kind of aham is necessary. So here, Prabhupada describes on how one thinks of mine and I. And then he gives a solution. Right now, he pointed out all the issues of this material life one by one. Now he says, solution is, even a person perpetually condemned by the miseries of material existence can get relief if he simply agrees to hear Krishna Katha. Just agree. How nice it is, right? First of all, it all started with eagerness, undesirable eagerness. Now, all we need to do is agree to hear Krishna Katha. One, just by expressing one's desire to hear, then everything starts changing. Everything starts rolling on the right direction, right? In the right direction. Then Prabhupada says, in this age of Kali, the process of hearing Krishna Katha is the most effective means to gain release from unwanted family affection. So here we need to note also that what do we hear when we hear Krishna Katha? What all do we hear when we hear about Krishna Katha or Gaura Katha? Krishna and devotees. Okay, but what happens between Krishna and devotees? Relationship. So there is affection, there is love, there is fulfilling the other person's desires and needs, and there is service. What else is there? Let's take our families. When we have relationships, I mean, of course, we are trying to practice devotee, so just don't think about it before we came to Krishna consciousness, okay? So what was relationships based on? Expectations, something positive, affection. Yeah, genuine affection also is there to some extent. So then gift exchanging, and then giving something to eat. Every little thing we do is based on relationships, right? We interact with relationships in a very explicit way. Give, take, receive, and give. This whole thing happens. In Krishna Katha, we hear the same thing happening in a better way, in a more clean way. So one hears Krishna Katha more and more, what happens? That transforms our own relationships also. Because the way they relate, we try to do the same kind of relationship in our own relationships, little pockets that we have, right? Our friends or family. So it's not that one has to be devoid of affection, devoid of happiness, then it becomes voidism or impersonalism. One has to have happiness, affection, everything, but then in a way that actually is prescribed for us, or not prescribed, that is natural for us, right? So that's what happens when we hear Krishna Katha and Gaura Katha. The relationship, the purity of relationships permeates into our life. Whether we really intentionally do it or not, it does happen. If we intentionally cultivate, it happens faster. That's all. Otherwise, it anyway happens. That's why Prabhupada says, just the process of hearing, if one agrees to do it, then everything starts rolling in the right direction, right? And then Prabhupada says, the age of Kali is full of simple reactions, and people are more and more addicted to qualities of this age. So, interestingly, it's full of simple reactions. We know there are 4 different stages in simple reactions. Bija, seed form, Kuta, it's almost, mature. And then there is Prarabdha and Aprarabdha. Prarabdha is explicitly manifest, and Aprarabdha is waiting in the stock, just waiting for a chance. So it's all waiting. So now all these, Prabhupada says, people are more and more addicted to the qualities of this age. This is like a quality. Quarrel and hypocrisy is a quality of this age. And one becomes addicted to quarrel and hypocrisy, even though one wants happiness. How, really, it's an opposite ends. We want something and getting addicted to something that does not give it. Promisingly, quarrel and hypocrisy cannot give happiness, right? But then one wants happiness, anandamaya abhyasa, but then go and get addicted to this. It's like really interesting. Then Prabhupada says, but by simply hearing and chanting of Krishna Katha, one is sure to go back to Godhead. One is sure. Therefore, people should be, now he's saying the key word here. One by one, he's going. Therefore, people should be trained to hear only Krishna Katha by all means. So initially he said, what is the issue? This whole issue is about I and mind. And because of I and mind, what happens? One is just passing on from one cage to the other cage. And to get out of it, what do you need to have is only some kind of desire or agreement, even if you don't have desire. Okay, spiritual masters telling me, or Srila Prabhupada is telling me. Therefore, out of obligation, at least I will do. Agreement even at that level works. Vaidhi Bhakti, right? Vaidhi Bhakti is agreement based in the beginning, even though there is affection. But the affection is not to an extent that we will leave everything else. But we agree, okay, I have all these things, but I agree to do this. And gradually it becomes, transforming, and then attachment begins in the right direction. So then Prabhupada says that's why we just need to do Krishna Katha. So when I was reading this, few thoughts came. The transfer of a spirit soul from one body to the other. It all happens at subtle platform. Like we know from Bhagavad Gita, air carries aroma. Similarly, mind carries, or conceptions that we carry, that carries us to the next. It's so subtle. It's like we can't identify, we can't really track where am I sleeping, which is carrying me to the next one. It's very subtle. We cannot grasp the air, right? Can we, like, if we go this way, we may smell something. Can we grasp and say, we cannot grasp with hand and say, this is this smell, that is that. As we pass, we know. We cannot grasp, put it in a bag and say, this is a fake fragrance. Similarly, this mind also carries one from one to the other in a very subtle way. So we wouldn't understand it unless we try to understand it. Then Prabhupada has put explicitly, Mind is focused on aham mama. So everything revolves around this aham mama. I, mine, I, mine. I am this, so mine is this. So even within our practice of devotional service, this entitlement can come. I am so and so, therefore mine is respect. Mine is honorous mine. I have to be getting it. Everything can happen at subtle levels. But at the same time, even identifying these things, subtlety, and then agreeing to move on, that makes the shift. That's what Prabhupada is saying. And the moving on happens with Krishna Katha. Therefore, we need to have Bhagavatam. We need to connect with Bhagavatam because Bhagavatam is full of Krishna Katha. There's nothing else. And then Bhakti Vinod Thakur has written so many bhajans based on this aham and mama. And the punchline of this particular verse is Devatas are saying, therefore, but even though all these people are there in one side of the world, but we are not like that. We want to take shelter of the lotus feet. And Prabhupada in the purport completely gives a purport to that. What does it mean to take shelter of the lotus feet? It means we take shelter of the devotees who are speaking Krishna Katha. We take shelter of Krishna Katha. That's what it means. Many times we wonder this question, what does it mean to take shelter of lotus feet? What does it mean? Meditate on lotus feet. What does it mean? Just think about how Krishna stands. And yeah, that's also great because he has this nice symbols in his lotus feet that we can meditate. But however, it's not just that. It's about Krishna Katha because his lotus feet means he. He means his name, form, qualities, and pastimes. There is no difference. Therefore, Kali Yuga is all about hearing and chanting. Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in a very beautiful bhajan. I wish we can pull up, but we don't. We cannot pull up in this, right? Can we pull up in with our phone? We cannot. No problem. So we have a bhajan in Sharanagati. I'm going to pull it up here. Very beautiful bhajan. It starts with Vastuta Sakali Tava. Okay. If you want to pull up, you can pull up and we'll read quickly. Here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur takes shelter of Nityananda Prabhu. We'll see the whole thing is, whole bhajan is based on aham mama. How to give up aham mama. Should I sing it? Maybe we'll just sing. Yes. Should I just? I'll just send it to. Vastuta Sakali Tava. Yeah. Okay. Vastuta Sakali Tava. Jiva ke hona. Vastuta Sakali Tava. Jiva ke hona. Aham abhrame. Bhoge shokhada. Bhoge shokhada. I'm going to read the translation. In truth, all things belong to you. Vastuta means in Vastava or in reality, right? All things belong to you. Sakali Tava. No jiva is the owner of anything. He says, Jiva keho nai. Nothing belongs to the jiva. And then he says, the tiny soul, even though it doesn't belong to him, right? Tiny soul wanders in this world, mistakenly thinking, I am this transitory body. Everything related to the body is mine. So therefore, my spouse is mine, my kids are mine, my grandkids are mine, my great-grand. So there's, not devotees. In general, people are very attached to this Vamsa what do you call, like lineage, having a lineage. If lineage stops, they feel their life is stopped. So it's very interesting how we don't even probably will relate to 4 generations down. They don't know us, we don't know them. But still there is so much attachment to them. Then the next verse. Aham mama bhimana matrudha. Aham mama bhimana matrudha. Badda jivani jaboli. Badda jivani jane mane ma. Jane mane ma. The conditioned soul is falsely proud and considers everything attached to the words I and mind to be his treasures. Treasures. Abhimana. Dhan means treasure box. Even though Baddha Jiva, bound up, but then this Jiva is thinking, this is my treasure. We are already bound. How to enjoy the treasure? We cannot even enjoy, honestly speaking. So, next. Se abhimane ami samsare podiya. Habudu bukhai bhava. Habudu bukhai bhava. Sindhu Santariya. Sindhu Santariya. So here Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that we'll just read like this only. Say Abhimana, holding this conception, I fell into samsara. I'm going deeper and deeper and falling into the samsara or material entanglement. Then what does it happen? What happens to such a person? Bhava Sindhu is ocean of material existence. And that one is habudubu khai. One is drowning. The word habudubu only, it's like bubbles. You drown and then there's only bubbles on top. Drown. Yeah, it's like waves. You just like go into the waves and drown into this Bhava Sindhu. Yeah. Okay. Just going up and down. Chintamani Mataji is person who knows Bengali here. I'm translating. So, but then how does it begin? What is happening in this? Just because of I and my conception, there is drowning happening now. Okay. And then for that now, Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives the solution. Just the way, just see the similarity of Prabhupada's purport and Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Just we can appreciate Prabhupada through this. Because he is exactly writing what his disciplic succession has written. Exactly, just exactly. The Bhajan translation in the purport. So next. Tomara bhaya pade loya shara. Tomara Haji ami kore nama. Atmaniveda. Atmaniveda. You probably understood this. Tomara abhay pade. It gives fearlessness, courage. See, Bhagavatam, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Prabhupada, everybody in one line, right? Tomara abhay pade loya sharan. Therefore, we take shelter. I take shelter of your lotus feet. Now, right now, I will surrender unto you. Aji ami kurilam, not tomorrow, not after an hour, right now, Atmanivedam. So we can really pray like that and sing this one more time. Here Radha Shamsundar are here, Prabhupada is here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is here. So we'll just sing that particular verse again. Together maybe. Tomara bhaya loi ajiya atma niveda. So we have taken the next step of what did Prabhupada call it? Agreement, agreeing to turn to Krishna. Next step. Oh, next, I don't know what the time is. 8:23. Okay, we have some time. The next is fifth verse in the bhajan. Aham mama abhimana chadilaya maya. Aham mama arjeno mama hide. Stana nahi pa. Beautiful, right? Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Aham mama abhimana chadile. I'm giving up now. Even though we, at our level, at some of us at least, we can say that I don't know, I have given up, but I can say I'm giving up now. I'm giving it up now. We may have to say it million times over and over. Not that we have said I am giving up and tomorrow we won't have it. But every time we get that, we have to keep giving up. Krishna, I'm giving up. I'm giving up. It's like repeatedly committing to taking shelter. Yeah. Therefore, these bhajans are not for one-time singing. We keep on singing. So similarly, we keep on repeating. And we shouldn't be disheartened. Oh, yesterday I committed. I said I'm giving up. And then this morning I woke up. First thing I'm thinking about is, aham mama, why this person did not pay attention to me day before yesterday. Yesterday I gave up, but then day before yesterday's things comes today. We don't have to be disheartened. We accept that, yeah, I'm a confused and very sudura, everything. I've kept lotus feet far away. I'm like this, but I'm giving up today, Krishna. And he's not going to say, you said you gave up yesterday, what happened to you today? Because he understands. So we also want to understand. But every time we say, I'm giving up, it's a repeated promise for a relationship. And then automatically relationship is established already because we are keeping on relating with the person. Yeah. So then Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Arjeno mama hriday. Nothing else I will not let anything else enter. Sthana nahi paye. I will not give any position or place in my heart for anything else. Okay. Then last three verses. Fifth one, right? The vanity of I and mine has left me now. Yeah, confirmation. May it, now we are praying, Krishna, please protect. May it never again find place in my heart. No, I'm not going to let in, but I'm weak. I may just wobble, but please, you don't let it in. No, you please help me, right? Very nice. Thank you. The next sixth one. He matra bolo prabhu dibe hai ama. Aham tamamata dure. Pari rakhi bare. Now we are asking Krishna, please give me strength. E matra bala. Please give me that strength. Okay. What strength do I want, Krishna? What strength do I want is, may I be able to keep this iron mind far away. Sudura, I kept your lotus feet far away till now, or at least I was blinded. Now I want to keep this aham mama far away. Okay? Please give me strength. Then, Atma Nivedana Bhava Hriday Dridhan. Hasti Snana Samajeno Kani Kana Ho. Bhaktivinoda Thakur really. So now he is asking, may the mood of self-surrender, Atma Nivedana, remain firmly fixed, Drida. Please let it remain firmly fixed in my heart. And then he says, may I not be like an elephant who takes bath and puts dust on itself. So please protect me from this kind of a tendency, because it is a tendency. Nobody wants, actually, it's not like someone submits and then one intentionally, willingly goes against their own desire of submission. But one is pulled and pushed by material nature. We can say material nature, but it's aham mama, right? If there is no aham mama, material nature doesn't work on a person. And then this thing repeatedly, I fail. Then we just have to be compassionate to ourselves and accept. Not accept that I'm a failure. Accept that I'm a repeatedly surrendering soul. I need to show commitment. My desire is there. I need to keep on showing to Krishna. Okay? So that is the beauty of this bhajan. They're saying it's a tendency for me to go back to my material aham mama conception. It's a tendency. How do you control tendencies? Or how do we really grasp and control a reflex action? Reflex action means if suddenly somebody, we call it startling action. Startle. When newborn babies are there, you go and do like this. They'll go like that. You don't even have to do anything. They'll just go like that because it's a reflex. If they don't have it, it's something wrong with the neurological system at that point, right? So it is a reflex. Similarly, for us, reflex is to go back to iron mind conception. So therefore, we are keeping on pulling ourselves. Yato, what is it? Bhagavad Gita verse. Nischalati manas chanchalam, right? Chanchalam. Then what is it? Tato tatas. Anyway, yeah. So he says with all this niyama, with this thing, bring the mind back. So we want to keep our mind back means we are coming back. We have gone with the mind. So we are coming back. When we are saying a mind, we are bringing the mind back. We are coming back. So many times and repeatedly, we are just committing and recommitting to Krishna. So then the last verse is Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhakati Vinoda Prabhu Nityananda Pa. Bhakati Vinoda Prabhu. Mage para sada gahe, mage abhimana ja. So here Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I beg at the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, or we beg at the lotus feet of Gauranga, Radha Madhava and Radha Shyamasundar for the grace. Translation is grace. Parashada means prasad. So basically it is mercy, right? Mercy, which delivers from false pride. So we show commitment and recommitment and recommitment, and Krishna keeps, Radharani gives mercy and mercy and mercy. When their mercy intervenes, then our false pride will be completely removed. Until then, it's not fully removed. But doesn't mean that, okay, when Radharani shows mercy, that time I'll wait. Until then, I'm not giving up or something. Until we show that we agree for this intervention, they are not intervening. So therefore, the demigods are praying that your lotus feet, which is so glorious, some of the materially conditioned souls have completely forgotten, even though you reside within the city of 9 gates. And now we take shelter of your lotus feet. And I just briefly looked at Burjan Prabhu's book, Unveiling His Lotus Feet. And in that, he quotes Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. It's only 2 sentences. He says that Puri here, he said, city of 9 gates. Puri also means Dham, Vrindavan, Mathura, Dwarka, and Navadvip. So even there, when we go, it's not that Krishna's Leelas are aprakat, unmanifest, even though they are there. Similarly, we are not able to see because Krishna have a Maya Javanikachanam, like one thin veil, right? Similarly, thinness or thickness based on our conceptions, but then similarly, he is residing here. And then this is the Puri, Dham, and then Aprakat. If you want, he will become Prakat. That's therefore Yam Shama Sundaram, right? How the Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. Yam Shama Sundaram, right? Shama Sundar comes and stays, manifests. Doesn't mean he's not there. We are asking, please stay, reveal. So then he shows Shama Sundar form. So therefore we take shelter of such a beautiful lotus feet, which means that we take shelter, or we agree to take shelter of hearing and chanting of Krishna Katha and name, form, pastimes, and qualities. And that means we take shelter of the disciplic succession and the devotees who will give it to us. So it's all in one line. Yeah. Thank you so much. We'll pause here if anything. We're already 8:34, but I think if anybody has anything, please share your inspirations, reflections, or any points of discussion. We will close in 5 minutes. Sorry. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Nice class. I mean, I was just impressed with the proper statement of agreement. Right? So, I mean, that is the beginning of the whole process. So, it will start, it will not end anywhere. So, I was thinking of the last few verses. Demigods are praying to the lotus feet of the Lord. So, complete body of the Lord is transcendental. I mean, any bodies, you see, other prayers also there. Other parts of glorifying the other parts of the body of the Lord as well. But I think many times we see lotus feet a lot compared to any other.
Yeah.
So maybe if you want to share something, why devotees generally pray for the lotus feet. So even the Lord says that the devotees take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. So Lord is so thinking, what is there at my lotus feet? So maybe if you can just explain a little bit now.
What I have heard, I don't remember any scriptural quotes, but then what I've heard, 2 things. One is at his lotus feet, our entire disciplic succession is right there. So whoever we want to connect is right there, beginning with our own spiritual master, or who we are aspiring for. And then Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Gaura Kishore Das Babaji, Jagannath Das Babaji, you can list. And now recently I've been connecting to Dhyana Chandra Goswami because with a verse that he has about chanting. So there's all these disciples, Madhavendra Puri, who was the original person, Acharya, who gave us this Radha Krishna worship explicitly. So everybody is right there. Nityananda Prabhu is there. Everyone is there. So that is one explanation I've heard. Therefore, that's why we are also recommended to take darshan from lotus feet, because that's where we actually, the dust of the lotus feet is sufficient to cleanse us. and take us back. So we see repeatedly, even Lord Chaitanya prays the same thing. In the 4th verse, what is it? That place me at your lotus feet. What is the fourth or 5th verse? Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam buddha kripaya tava pada pankaja. He's not saying keep me in your heart. Keep me at your feet. His heart is possessed by Radharani. We want to be at his feet, or at her feet, or discipline question. That's one. The second thing is meditating on lotus feet, like we said about hearing Krishna Katha. If you want to be too very visual about lotus feet, and there are so many marks on his lotus feet, and each of those marks is not decorative marks; they mean something. So I don't remember what all marks are there, everything, but then there are significant marks like chakra, and then there are significant marks like flag. And Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet, I know there is a thread, a rope, just pull us up. So even just meditating on that particular, and then there's Gada, there's thunderbolt in lotus feet marks. So just taking shelter of lotus feet means also we can just even meditate on one sign, one symbol, and then pray to Krishna, pull me up with this sign on your lotus feet, symbol on your lotus feet. So, well, but that's only my own meditation or concoction that I'm sharing, even though it doesn't seem very wrong. But then actual process is hearing and chanting. It happens there because the speakers are right there. Whoever is speaking Bhagavatam is right there at his lotus feet. Therefore, it begins with the lotus feet. That's all I can share. Yeah. Anything else? Your joy of, share your joy of connecting with Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah.
So much so beautiful the Bible and the situation timing is very beautiful last night and one it feels super attentive here on the but how the conception came and for me when I read the 16th chapter and then it just felt so hard and feeling how much I'm so to do that. Because
Yeah. The battery is gone. Okay.
really hard in but it's helpful and something that helpful fashion. Thank you so much for speaking that and reading. Just like instantly uplifting.
Yeah.
All the mornings that I provide this market on my own and I could and then the other one that you mentioned about how this body transformation happens in the middle. So thinking, even in this lifetime, the body kept changing.
Yeah.
You don't have the same body.
Yeah.
You don't realize how it's changing.
Yeah.
So in the same way, I'm thinking how the subtle body is changing in a very subtle way, because hearing it chanting.
Yes.
Because most of the time my focus goes on one hour session where I'm saying, okay, I'm not good, I'm not going to do all that fun. But when you're speaking about it, there is definitely so much transformation that happens.
Yes.
So I think it's very subtle, but I think somehow we have to focus on more appreciate the practical life.
Yes.
The potency of it. It's working. I have a long but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the whole point, like you're saying, the whole point of seeing our disqualifications or analyzing or trying to, it is important to understand for sure. This antakarana, we need to know where our attachments are. We do dive in and see. But the point of seeing is not for putting ourselves in the cage again. We're already in a cage. We don't have to do another one inside that, right? And then say that there is no escape. The whole point of looking is to come out of it. So when can we look and then still come out of it is that when we are not attached to what we are looking in. Attachment means aversion also. When we become averse to what we are seeing within us, yeah, we need to be disgusted. Oh my God, what all I have. But at the same time, not in a way that we are turning our face out, like, but if we turn, then how are we going to work? So there is attention given when we see without too much judgments and too much attachments, then we see that, wow, here it is, there this mercy. Both are present at the same place. Then there is some flexibility to move. Otherwise, we are like stiff, tightened up. Then we can't move.
I don't know.
Should I give this to her?
Pay attention. It's like, wow. If you meditate or take the Prabhupada's purpose. So this thing about we actually want the happiness, but we are addicted to the qualities of material. You're like, seriously, I'm not addicted to, I don't want to do this or do that. It's a little bit explicitly presented, but I'm thinking on a subtle level, each of us, I mean, overall, yes, I have a sincere desire to really become serious practitioner of bhakti. But at the same time, doing, the so-called unfavorable activities, which are hampering or stagnating my progress, it's kind of a conflicting thing there. But hearing this statement, it was so helpful. Like, hey, wait a second, where my focus has to be, that brought some clarity on that. Yeah.
Revisiting our own desire makes it more practical to move. If we don't revisit our own spiritual desires, we are anyway default visiting our other desires. That we don't have to intentionally visit. That automatically happens. So you have to revisit our spiritual desires. Even if they are kind of contaminated, okay, I like, still, we can still revisit. Let us first take one step ahead, and then after that, we can take the next step and next step. Like, okay, I'm not pure, so I don't want to desire. My desires even for devotional service is mixed. So I don't, I can't even have spiritual desires. That's not the way to go. We are mixed, we accept. But then we still move on for connecting with Krishna or having the spiritual desires, revisiting. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. I think devotees on Zoom, are we going to Lakshmikanta Prabhu? Should we end? Yeah. Okay. So we will end today. So we just read Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, Text 44, which is the last verse on glorifying the lotus feet of the Lord and taking shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. And the verse also says, who is not able to take shelter? The persons who are encaged or entangled in iron mind conception and who have undesirable eagerness. These are highlight words now. Undesirable eagerness for material enjoyment. Such people are not able to take shelter. One of them is me, Krishna, but I still want to take shelter. That's the way we are going. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Hare Krishna.